Well, I pulled the top off of this wide track too, and I want to go over a couple of things. Obviously, you've got yourself one 6-amp motor there and one 6-amp motor there. Okay, that's great. Kind of interesting that the airflow exhaust and intake ports are kind of connected together with this piece of cardboard. That's kind of interesting. This you can see adjusts the height, and oh, is that squeaky? And this little piece right here is supposed to be on the top of that. And it was just floating around in the machine. So I could just imagine what would happen if this like touched this to that, which is ground, or this, or something else that would cause something bad. But I heard a rattle with this machine when I went and put it in the back of my car a few days ago, and now I found out it was actually this. So that'll get installed the correct way. That is back on there just like that. And it won't actually come off that way because of the case here in the background. Let's see. This little group of wires, this little cord keeper, was completely loose, and that screw was rattling around in here. So I hooked that back up again. And then this is an extra ground wire. You can see you've got central grounding here, and then of course it goes over to the ground, the main ground in the plug all the way over there. I did some tests because this has been going free for probably a number of years, and I certainly don't want it touching something that it shouldn't. So I was looking around for a great place to ground it to. I said, wait a minute, why don't I go ahead and actually ground it to this, because this is a nice hunk of metal. So I used my volt ohm meter back there to go and check and make sure that this wouldn't cause any problems. Did a static and a dynamic test in there. That is tested for DC resistance and then tested for AC voltage running around on things. And guess what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hook it right there. So it should be safe right there. I've already tested it, so we're in good shape. But that just kind of bugs me that you have a ground wire just floating around in the air, and then this cable keeper, well, it was floating around in there too. So this thing definitely needed some help, to be sure. I'm glad I caught a few things before this machine either caught on fire or maybe even experienced some kind of an explosion. That would definitely not be fun. There, so now this whole mechanism right in here is now grounded. All right, fantastic. I've cleaned the top, obviously. Everything sounds pretty good. So now I want to go and take care of this awful, awful screeching noise. So, yep, you guessed it. Time for my wheel bearing grease. Because that's just awful when you go and try to adjust it. I mean, wow. All right, so greasing we will go. I mean, sheesh, unbelievable. And I also want to actually get under here a little bit. There, I want to put some on here, back side a little bit. Doesn't have to be neat, just has to work. And same thing over here. Let's grease this dude. I got better access over there. And now it won't make such an unbelievable racket. It's better. So now, let's see what that does. Alright. It's still squeaking. So I think we have some squeaking in here and some squeaking in there and probably a little right here. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Notice it's got some detents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got some interesting little detents in there. Alright, take care of that. Ooh, that's sounding a little better. So let's continue. Grease the world is my motto. Grease the world. Don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty. This doesn't hurt anything. All right, now let's hear it. Ah. All right. It's not perfect, but it's certainly standable now. Fantastic. And this actually goes back on here, believe it or not. And I don't know if I can clean that up any better than what I've already done. That's about it. So this, I will go and put a little grease on the bottom here. You can see where you had 2 screw marks right in here before, so that's how I figured out that this would actually sit right there like that. So now let me turn this thing around, and I need to do my normal handle greasing because those squeak like crazy too. so often you have to make a small repair in the bag or the fill tube that goes in the bag. And as you can see here, there was a cut probably from a nail or glass or something like that. I had my wife stitch that up. You put some fabric glue over it, and that will actually serve very well. It really won't leak. So here we are, all done. Let's take a quick peek at it, and then we'll do some tests and a whole house cleaning. So this is now what it sounds like. And I'll show you what it's like from the other side. Certainly a real monster.